Hello. Welcome to Genuine Wrestleboys, a podcast of four friends made better friends through a love of professional wrestling. I'm Derek.
M Train Toot Toot.
Hello.
I'm Zach Griffith Jr.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Sick. And we are a professional wrestling podcast based out of the great state of Boise, Idaho.
The whole state of Boise, Idaho.
This is weird and different.
Boise State University. Boise.
I'm an alum.
Coming to you from our own homes. I'm in a different location today because my internet is trash.
You're still in the same location, but you're in a different location within your domicile.
Yeah. Also, shout out to whoever Logan is on YouTube, leaving us comments. I guess we can be friends. I don't know. What are your politics like? How do you
It's
feel?
important.
How do you feel about important issues that we end up talking about on this show a lot?
Let me say, I'll verify this. Logan, if you're a real person, I'm sorry, but that comment did go up literally moments after I finished uploading, which
Well, you
happens
know-
on every video.
I know
Oh,
that
no.
there happens to be a lot of
Well-
people just cruising around the Genuine Wrestleboys YouTube page.
On the first
I mean, he did say want to be friends. Let's check. I'm gonna look into this guy.
the first two was loved it.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Engagement. So thanks for
And the next
engaging.
one was eat shit.
Hell yeah.
Loved this one a little less.
Logan, if you're real, come and eat shit next time.
I mean, okay. He does have a video talking about how to play the video game Rust, which is a cool game. So,
So you know what? Cool in my book.
and one called Chilling in PUBG.
Nice.
Cool in my book,
Nice.
dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are currently on the Eavesdrop Podcast Network. Check out some of the other shows, like we do Keanu, my favorite one.
Yeah, I just
Yes.
recorded an episode of that'll come out in like 6 months when we finally get there.
Yeah. Pretty soon I'll be talking about The Matrix for 3 hours, because what's more entertaining than three white dudes talking about The Matrix for 3 hours?
And that's
just-
not even a podcast. That's just him talking about it into the ether.
I mean,
That's just coming from a roof in Cuna.
it's true. I have done that before.
I did hear from them that on the first Matrix episode, you did bring up the that it's all a trans allegory. So,
Mhm.
shouts out to you.
I did a little
Oh, yeah.
research besides just watching the movie. Wasn't like Point Break where I went in all heart.
Oh man, I did the movie Hardball and
Hell yeah.
Oh fuck that movie.
going to the
It
shit.
rocks.
It doesn't really rock. It's like it's almost a great movie, but it's kind of a shitty movie. Really hear my thoughts.
I'm sure there's a lot of problematic stuff.
Oh, it's not even
um,
that. It's just that it's
oh.
not a good movie,
But
but
I
it's
real-
almost good.
I was going through my 32-year-old movie collection, just all the movies I've curated. I have a type of movie that I really like, and it's people who get in trouble teaching inner city kids how to play sports.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which movie specifically?
The
I mean,
Mighty
Hardball is
Ducks.
one of them. Mighty Ducks.
Hardball. Little Giants is more a bunch of misfits getting together and beating a real team.
Becky the Icebox O'Shea.
Hell yeah. Isai, shout out Icebox, X Icepo X. Yeah. Watch Little Giants. It's a good film.
It's a good
I
film.
wonder
Good
if that's the
Good Rick
same about,
Moranis
like-
vehicle.
Teaching inner city kids though how to play ball.
Yeah,
They're
no, that
teaching
one's
nerds.
more like
Nerds,
it's a bunch of
nerds.
misfits getting together.
What's that one movie with
The Big Green.
Oh, I love that
The
one.
Big
No,
Green.
the one with Sean Connery.
Yeah, the big green.
You're the dog now, or whatever. Like-
Finding
Um,
Forrester.
The Rock.
Yes, Finding Forrester.
That's a great movie.
That's he teaches. Yeah, he teaches that kid.
You're the man now, dog.
You're the man now, dog.
Oh, Sean Connery kind of sucks though. So.
He sucks a lot. He sucks a lot, but he's fun to talk like.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fun to talk good like.
I
Oh
like
my
Daryl
gosh.
Hammond way better than Sean Connery.
Who?
The guy who played Sean Connery on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Did you watch his thing on Netflix?
No.
Daryl Hammond's? Oh, it is sad, dude. That guy grew up in a fucking That dude had a hard childhood.
Yeah.
But it's all about repressed memories and repressed trauma. It's hefty as fuck, but it's on Netflix.
Ooh.
It's really good.
Ooh.
But it sucks because I knew him as the Bill Clinton guy, and we started the documentary. Like, all I know about Daryl Hammond is that he's Bill Clinton, and the whole thing is just about how he can't. I mean, it's not the whole thing, but a part of it is just that he can't escape Bill Clinton.
I want more Al Gore.
yeah. Come on.
He was a very good Al Gore.
He was good at a lot of things. Heavy childhood though. Guys, so much wrestling happened this week though.
Yeah.
There's so much that's happened. In the
Let's
last
just fucking get into the highlights because Money in the Bank. It was a short pay-per-view, so it won't take that long.
I loved it. Shorter than an episode of Raw. Can you even fucking? I loved it.
So let's start with Wednesday. This website just went dumb on me. Hold on a second. Tell me what happened on AEW.
Sammy Guevara got murdered by a golf cart.
Oh my God, that bump.
Yeah, that match was actually so fun. There was a couple things that were cool. A couple things that were really fucking not great.
Jake Roberts.
That was a little strange.
He brought the snake out. He brought out the snake. Which I was like...
I don't know if I can do him this week with my allergies, but I'll...
El Eo take Earthquake? The son of Quake? Is that a snake? What's his snake's name?
2, Quake Reloaded.
The electric... Whatever.
What was the religious name it had?
Well, yeah, what was his snake's name?
Revelations.
Revelations.
Back when he was a Christian Alcoholics Anonymous member.
I mean, I like Brandy's promo before the whole thing about, like, this isn't the 90s. You try to make me cower in the corner. You come at me, I'm going to hit you back. Which...
You hit me back, I got 22.
But that did not happen this week. She got hit, and then a snake got put on her.
And then humped on her.
And then humped on her. That's right.
So it actually did feel like the 80s. So
wasn't great. And then you watch some clips of Jake the Snake Roberts on Joe Rogan's podcast, and you're like, this guy seems like he's maybe not super great, but I'm glad, he got his life. I'm glad he got right after 20 years. But
right.
Regardless, the episode was interesting. Nyla Rose returned.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, nice.
She that jobber
more than beating a jobber real quick.
That jobber hope they got a little extra for those bumps they took in that match.
Oh my gosh, dude, yeah.
Those power bombs and that swanton
that swanton looked like it hurt fucking bad, dude. Any swanton looks like it hurts like a motherfucker, but
true.
Jeff Hardy just lands on people now too.
On Edge and Christian podcast when they had Jeff Hardy on, and we're just like,
I don't give a shit.
talking about how like year by year taking the swanton like hurt more and more.
And like now he doesn't even just try to protect the person because he's like, I just gotta, I gotta brace myself. And I try not to hurt him. But do you know what else I watched? I know we're getting no, right. Sorry, we'll get that's later. I shouldn't.
Okay. Yeah.
But then yes, Matt Hardy debuted also at Double or Nothing. Before that, it was announced because Brody Lee stole Jon Moxley's title from him.
Yeah, he just took it. That title gets stolen a lot.
It gets stolen a lot, dude.
Yes.
But it's covetable. But anyway, Double or Nothing is going to be Brody Lee versus Jon Moxley.
Should have been really Brody Lee's first match.
Probably should have been.
But yeah, it is soon.
Soon. Especially because he's gonna end up losing.
Brody?
Yeah.
Something's got to happen.
That would be dumb as hell.
Yeah, I honestly think
you can't beat Moxley now.
I feel like they got to. I think in my head those fucking minions are gonna, banana. Yeah, they're gonna banana themselves all up into that match.
Then if they do, then it's just like bullshit, like booking.
It kills Brody.
Then AEW just kind of goes back on like, we're not gonna do bullshit WWE finishes, and it's like, well,
yeah, but they have been since they started.
Kind of.
They've gone back on.
Into a corner because you either kill one of them or you and it's like, which one do you want to kill? Honestly, Moxley's a bigger star, and he just got the belt. You need to have a defense.
Yeah, it's like But don't fucking make a weird cult leader and then make him lose in his first match.
Why not?
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt's doing great.
I actually think Bray Wyatt's doing. I don't know. I feel like he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Break the hell.
it was. Yeah, I don't know. That it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see that match. I don't know where it's gonna go.
When is Double or Nothing?
2 weeks from now when we're recording this, which is the 12th.
Oh, is it on a Wednesday?
No. It's on the Saturday. Not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after.
Okay, cool.
23rd, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, soon. But yeah, and then thank goodness they announced what was the other one that was kind of MJF versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry at Double or Nothing as well.
Jack.
That's a weird pay-per-view match, but I'm into it.
It'll be fun, but there's no build to it. I mean, they'll do something next week.
Yeah.
But MJF is making his way back and whatnot. But yeah, so that'll be cool. Seeing the tag teamery of Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy was very, very fun. They pulled out a couple of Hardy Boys moves.
Nice.
It was fun. It was like watching a band replaces, somebody, and then they're still playing the hits.
Nice.
Kind of a thing.
Nice.
It was
Journey with
fun.
their tiny Asian singer.
Yes, Journey with that small man who won from YouTube.
YouTube man.
The small YouTube man. But yeah, I don't know.
Man.
It was cool. AEW was fun.
I thought NXT was also pretty fun as well.
NXT was cool.
Yeah.
It started off with Don Dijon and Johnny G.
Yeah.
Yeah, new music for All Heart No Soul.
Yeah, spooky
Bad boy
music.
now. Bad boy needs bad boy
Spooky
music.
I will say it's better than his other song for his character.
Yes.
For his character, yeah.
I like the other song better.
Yeah. You love Paramore.
Exactly.
Yeah, it sounds like Paramore and Chasing Victory made a song together.
Poster in 2007 is dope.
I never listened to Chasing Victory as much as Taylor Raymond wanted me to.
On one good album.
That match was. I
Johnny
don't remember much.
needs to wrestle smaller guys more.
Yeah.
Because it just looks real cool. Like people jumping around like crazy for him. Also, Johnny's just really good.
Johnny's wonderful.
And
I'm a little worried about Dijon. I feel like Dominik Dijakovic, he had a super awesome thing with Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him being put in a program with the fucking, Archer of Infamy. Whatever his name. Not Punishment Martinez. What's his name?
I like how you remember his
I remember his tagline, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Don't worry, I do that all the time.
Damian Priest.
The Archer of Infamy.
Big guy, but watching him wrestle John,
forever.
watching him wrestle Johnny, I was kind of like, I don't know who I can really see him wrestle against. That's super interesting. Maybe other than I don't know. There's a few people over at UK that would be cool, but I don't know.
It's because he's really big and has a really indie move set, and so it only works with certain people.
Yeah. Him and Keith Lee genuinely do have a lot of magic together, but it's and then obviously the stuff with him and Johnny, it wasn't supposed to be a fucking show stealer of a match, I don't think, obviously, given the card. But it was just I don't know who I could really see him working with. I imagine Dijon versus Velveteen. I'm I can't imagine really being that into that.
I want to see him against a small technical dude.
Roddy.
So the roles are flipped. So Roddy, Pete Dunne, Kushida,
yeah, people who are also just very, very good. Very good.
Well, yeah.
So luckily NXT has, no shortage.
Undisputed Era, just all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Streets of Rage.
Yeah, him and Kyle
I've been playing that.
Would be fun.
The new one, is it sick?
Yeah, I beat it yesterday.
I thought about buying it.
I have Xbox Game Pass, so it's sick.
Nice. Tozawa versus Gallagher. I almost said it's Jack Gallagher, right? Not Gallagher.
Gallagher.
It's Gallagher, the comedian.
It's not Waterboy.
Ready for some watermelon?
Yeah, to my understanding, it's Gallagher.
Yeah, as a descendant of the O'Gallagher clan in Ireland. That's how it is.
That's what I thought.
It. Yeah.
Did Tozawa win this? Yeah,
Yes.
Tozawa won this.
He's great.
Ha!
He's great.
It was a good match for the time that it got. I just felt like they could have given him more because it was good.
Yeah, because these guys have wrestled so fucking much. Like 205 live staples, like.
Yeah.
Karrion Cross and Scarlett made their debut.
Karrion my killer cross.
Carry-ons are extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a fucking awesome entrance.
That entrance was like a WrestleMania main event entrance.
It reminded me of like the first time Alistair debuted. Like it was that level. But do it for two people.
Yes, and it was like that. Plus, like Katie and I were watching it, and it was just like, it was like a music video in the sense that like she was singing it first, and then he started singing it at the end. I was like, am I watching a fucking play? He has this Phantom of the Opera in front of me.
Yeah,
and then he proceeded to murder Leon Ruff.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, that name is
a rough match.
That name is so close to Leo Rush.
It's really close to Leo Rush.
He is an evolved wrestler, though.
Yeah. Also, I want to acknowledge your joke, Zach. I really liked it.
Oh,
they Karrion Cross and Scarlett like came off like such stars. They also showed that like you can make people feel like stars in like this whole like no fans era right now.
Yeah.
Because like automatically from like the moment like the music started and like it had like a silhouette of Scarlett and then she's like singing it and then like it hits like the heavy shit and she's going nuts and he looks like
that was a Jason Newsted era Metallica ass bass line going on to that.
Yeah, so who is doing their music now? Like, do we know?
Because it's not. That's definitely that ain't no CFO dollar sign track.
No, they're gone. So
it was
no
excellent.
I'll tell you that.
It ain't no down.
Yeah. I'm hoping. I'm very excited to see their future. I'm hoping that they don't fizzle out quickly. Yeah, I can see that happening.
He's really good.
He's very good. What I loved about their entrance is that it feels like something out of like a post-apocalyptic movie of some kind.
100%.
But also, like in that movie, it could equally be this is what happens right before you see them have sex, or him go into the the arena and rip someone's head off.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
I'm also glad they didn't like really change like Scarlett from like wearing what she did like in Impact and on the Indies because that's her character, like the smoke show, and like that's like who's like she wants to be. So like they didn't like, oh, we gotta tone it down a little bit.
No, she has this like super badass like like detective noir kind of like fucking I don't know badass gimmick.
It was just kind of like knowing like her other work and stuff, like knowing that like she looked the same and like she was a part of the whole act, and like they're not like having her change to like something that's like like a shittier version or like
or like just super watered down.
Yeah,
she's just wearing the more conservative side of the lingerie she's wearing in Impact.
Yeah. She also isn't eating bananas in a training video.
But like what I love about her character too, though, is that she's really good in the ring. Like that's the whole thing. Is like you kind of like did like kind of just like brush her aside or whatever. Like you don't expect her to be all that much because of the gimmick, but like then she like subverts that, and she throws destroyers around.
You have to say throw Canadian destroyers.
Yeah.
I would love, I'm sure this is what they're building to, but some sort of like mixed tag between Johnny and Candice.
Oh yeah. I think we last week when we were talking to Nello, I think he had mentioned something briefly.
Oh, that's where I probably got the idea from.
Because it's that idea of like because you can't really have the two evil couples in NXT, like one of them they're probably gonna have to go at it to see who's the fucking most vicious couple.
Who's the most evil.
Which is awesome. I mean, I can imagine a mixed tag match between the two of them could main event like a fucking... it would be great.
With how they introduced him, like, essentially, like, they pretty much positioned him that he has to be the one to take the title off Cole.
Yeah.
That also makes a lot of sense.
I would love that.
Like both of those couples are the couples you hate from your high school, but one are like the choir nerd ass kids, like couple that you hate, and one's the fucking the football player and the cheerleader you hate.
Oh yeah.
Right. But it's like with the cheerleader and the football player, you're a little bit almost more like, well, at least I know what I'm getting with them.
Yeah.
With the theater couple, it's almost like I don't even know if I want to know.
They're way more annoying.
Fucking singing in line at the TCBY.
And whenever they have an argument,
sounds like when Tyler was dating this girl named Hannah. This is making me go to high school. Hannah Buckendorf, you remember her?
I remember her.
I never.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shout out.
They would just sing to each other, and it was the most annoying. And it was like they would sing like Moulin Rouge songs to each other.
Like that's literally my number one anxiety trigger. Like literally, it.
I know
people singing in public.
You've talked about that, and I agree with you.
Each other, I'm like, no, stop.
Oh yeah, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a little cringed up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really fucking triggered me on this.
But anyway, I think it would be great to see them all fight.
Yeah, I'm very excited for what the future holds for Karrion Cross and Scarlett. Charlotte Flair versus Io Shirai.
They were having a good match. It was one of Charlotte's better matches she's had. She's been actually doing pretty well too.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of saying something. I didn't like the finish, but I liked the idea that they're trying to protect everybody. But
yeah.
It was one of those things where it kind of sucked me out of the moment to be like, oh yeah, we are just watching a TV, NXT.
Yeah.
We're not going to get any huge satisfying conclusion.
Yeah. I it's kind of a bummer for me just because there's the rumors about Io not being happy and maybe not going to resign and stuff. We'll see. But if that does end up being the case, she's also talked about Charlotte being her dream match, and I feel like if she doesn't resign, she probably won't get the match with the finish,
Yeah.
Probably.
I feel this is leading to a 3-dog night, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you could take the title off of Charlotte and not have her get beat, which is then protects her.
Yeah. I wasn't mad at the finish just because I thought Charlotte was going to win, so they kind of surprised me with a not clean finish. Yeah. So that was a nice little swerve, but yeah, clean finishes are always better, but it would have killed Io. I don't think it would have done anything bad for Charlotte.
No, not at all.
No. But I do think that Charlotte still hanging on to it could still serve to do a lot of good for a lot of other wrestlers as well.
I'm gonna guess her run in NXT might be shorter now than was originally planned because they might be wanting her back up on the main roster now.
Yeah, because she's gonna be on SmackDown on Friday, so.
And one of Raw's biggest talents is off screen for the foreseeable future. But
no, it didn't prevent any glare.
And then it was Kushida versus who did he fight?
Jake Atlas.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is a very fun match. Very good.
I like Jake Atlas a lot.
They crammed so much stuff in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They just needed to give it a bit more time, but they were trying to hit so many different things. So maybe take a couple seconds off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good for what it was. I love the finish because him catching those arm bars and stuff out of nowhere is always great. There's one from the Best of Super Juniors a few years back where Kyle O'Reilly was running off the fucking ring apron onto the floor and it fucking rolls into an arm bar. It's so sick.
Damn.
Oh hell yeah!
I've seen that spot. Yeah.
I love that. And that's the thing that's so cool about the smaller wrestlers too. Is just how fluid they can be. Is just it's so awesome.
Kushida is next level.
Good.
Yeah. Kushida is maybe the most fluid wrestler on the planet, technical wrestler.
I love it. I love watching him.
Yeah. We had a match with Denzel DeJournette and Cameron Grimes, and afterwards Cameron Grimes cut a little promo saying he wasn't scared of Finn Balor. Then Finn Balor came out. Guess what?
That was awesome.
Cameron Grimes is a fucking coward.
Dude, seriously, I was kind of expecting him to at least
I love that.
Back up his words a little bit.
It was great.
Yeah, I love like Cameron Grimes is like he's legit like a very legitimate competitor. Like he like has had solid wins and like he's like always pulling stuff out and has some really good wins. But then at the same time, like he's not afraid to make himself look just like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Because he is a weirdo.
He had a feud based on his hat already.
It's true. Dude, Finn Balor is such a fucking scary badass.
Yeah. His abs are scary.
Just that alone. Plus you get he has a menacing presence to him. Or not menacing, but intensity. Yeah, he's fucking very intense.
I mean, go back and watch like Prince Devitt promos where he's like fucking like kidnapping reporters and like pretending and then mock executing them.
Awesome.
Like he has like a scary level.
Carl Anderson and him just drunk as hell. Fucking his promo was really odd though.
Yeah.
Just like kind of insidery, which is like very Russo-esque, but he made it work.
Yeah, it felt very catered to the smarky crowd, us. But it was still really effective. Like even if you didn't know exactly what he was talking about, which I mean, most people knew what he was talking about. But like even if you didn't, you'd still be like, well, this guy fucking means business.
Yeah, he means fucking business.
And then the show ended.
Captain fucking New Japan.
That's not what happened, Derek. The show didn't end.
Yeah, the show ended with Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream.
Yo, Dream is off, huh?
Yeah.
Dream is not good right now. Like
Dream over.
I was listening to, I forgot who it was. It might have been Brian Alvarez. He just says Dream isn't a good character when there's no fans because it draws from like the reaction. And so like he isn't the best like wrestler. He's not the best promo and there's not the reactions there.
Yeah.
And so like his character is on like 4 or 5 different levels down now.
And I can't tell if like it's his energy level is lower because of that, or if he is actually still a step like feels a step slower in ring too. Like I've been trying to figure out like what it reminds me of, and I finally figured out it reminds me of like specifically Derrick Rose, but basketball players who like get an injury and come back and they are never like they never play the same speed. Like and like that's what it reminds me of right now. Like he just is slower. Like he's slower, like nothing looks as crisp. Like you can just tell it's in his head and maybe physically too. Like
and like character wise too, like since his ring work isn't there, like maybe he lost all his confidence. I don't know. It just doesn't feel.
I do get that feeling, like the kind of crisis of confidence, but not like as a character, but like genuinely coming across in the ring.
Yeah. Patrick is having this, not Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
The finish was weird. I mean, it makes sense for Undisputed Era, but just
Dexter
Adam
Lewis
Cole
when he came out from under the ring was really funny to me.
It was terrifying.
That was awesome. That guy is fucking hilarious.
I will say he's so unintentionally funny. It's all in his face.
I'm hoping that it's like I feel like I hope he's self-aware enough to understand that him doing that little fucking crawl out of the ring on his fucking knees is funny. I hope he's self-aware enough to be in on the joke.
Follow him on social media. He gets it.
Good.
Yeah.
I still can't not think about his character of stalking Kirsty Hemme in TNA.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then also when he just was randomly with the Nightmare Family.
It's so weird.
So how exactly did that match end again? It was the Undisputed Era just sort of came and did some fuckery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was some like AEW, WCW. Like, I mean, they are NWO for NXT, so like, overbooked,
he hit
big schmoz.
Yeah, he hit like the ref, and then he had the visual pin.
I thought AEW this week was tighter than. I feel like they're doing a better job with the empty arena stuff. We don't have to dive into it.
They're jamming 40 people in an arena.
I feel like it's hit or miss, like which one's better. Like I feel like right now, like this week especially, this was AEW's like best overall performance.
Yeah, great
of Empty Arena. But also this is like there were, I'd say, a month straight that I thought was dog shit from the Empty Arena stuff for AEW, like not that long ago. So just hope that they stay on this trajectory.
I hope so. I'm just to me it shines so much more even right now that they have so much freedom to decide what they want to do, and that does not always end up for the better, but I still think it makes for me a more captivating show. But that's not to take away from how fucking good the matches are.
I also forgot that Aaliyah came and like helped Chelsea Green, so she might be a part of the Robert Stone brand.
Like if anything, like it makes sense, like for her character, and like if she's gonna still be there, try something out with her, and like even if she ends up being the Robert Stone brand, Chase Owens, where she eats every pin.
At least Chelsea's not. I mean, like not.
Exactly.
I mean, if that's what they're trying to do, But
let's move on to SmackDown. You guys talk about it while I go pee.
Yeah, we can.
The tag match was really fun because John Morrison in there with the Lucha guys is sick because he knows how to work with Lucha guys, and it seems like they let them just fucking go because like they're hitting like Dragon Ranas and shit. And so that was cool.
I honestly, I watched the Hulu edit and I don't really remember. It's not coming to mind.
Yeah, I kind of got just sucked up by Money in the Bank for me.
Yeah, no, same here. Especially because like the end, like they just were all trying to pose with the briefcase for no reason.
Oh yeah.
I was very happy when Baron got the briefcase because I was like, well, he's not winning on Sunday then.
He's just near murdering 2 individuals.
I am very mad about how they explained that away on Monday.
I am too. And I
just let it be weird.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought for a second they were going to let it be weird when Ray was talking about how a miracle happened. But then the miracle, it was just like, oh, that sucks.
There's precedent within pro wrestling kayfabe that you can survive getting thrown off a building and even have a match the same night.
And
that's true.
And there's precedent in WWE that you can be dead. You can be a dead man and you can come back.
You kind of sounded like Razor Ramon and like Scott Hall. It's like, you can be a dead man.
Hey yo, you could be dead.
I should be dead.
You could be dead or you could be alive. I did kill a guy once. That wasn't, it was out of self-defense.
That's true.
That'll fuck a guy up for life.
This is what I said to a group chat that I'm in of what they needed to do with Ray and Black. And so what they do is they have police show up and they interrogate Corbin. He's just like crying. Just like, oh no.
Oh God.
They have been so good. And then Black and Ray just show up in the room like, hey guys, what's up? And Corbin is just like a fucking wreck. He's like, what happened? Like, what are you talking about? So they make him think like that nothing ever happened, but like he's like still just freaking out about it. And so then like he keeps showing up kind of like how Neville did when he lost the Cruiserweight title.
Just more and more tired and haggard looking.
And like he just keeps asking how like they survived and how it happened. They just like, we don't know what you're talking about, dude. And then a few months down the road, he just fucking like they show him run and jump off the roof because he needs to know how they did it. And then it cuts to Rey Mysterio on the phone just saying it's done. And then like Aleister Black's in his room with like a fucking phone and just says, good. And then boom, Baron Corbin's written off of TV. And it's like a really interesting 3 months.
And comes back as the new Undertaker.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they dedicate the whole next episode to Baron Corbin. Like,
and like they have like a casket there, and like he sits up out of it as Undertaker too.
Dude, if Baron
Corbin, del Undertaker.
Dude, if Baron Corbin just started going by Undertaker 2 after that too, I would be fine with that.
God. During we'll talk about it more when we get to fully going through Money in the Bank. Yeah. There are moments with Baron Corbin during that whole match that they are teasing me so hard for that dream I have.
I think it's
how they use Baron Corbin.
I think it's oh my God, I keep fucking up the mic that's recording the audio, and I'm sorry about it. But I think they're fully there. I feel like Baron's in on it. He's having a good time. I feel like it's about to be sweet Baron the doofus season.
I think that for backstage stuff and these pre-taped things, we're gonna be getting there because obviously someone there on the writing team and I think him gets that is really good. Mm-hmm. But the way they use him, book him week to week in ring, I think is always going to undercut that because he's always going to be pushed way too hard actually in ring. That's now true. He's being the first person to do this, wild card rule junior thing. And that doesn't, it doesn't do anything. So,
but I will say this: I don't like Baron Corbin. His character doesn't do shit for me. I don't think he has 3 cool moves, which sucks because everything else in between is the worst. But he does every single little thing that WWE asks him that's so shitty and stupid, and he fucking does it 100%. He does.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I don't think he takes himself too seriously, but it does become the question. Either. But it does become the question: is still the writers' room or Vince take that character too seriously?
He gets pushed to the fucking moon, so he's fine.
He
made events every night with fucking Roman on the live events.
I don't think it's even just Vince. I think it is basically all of the old school agents and producers and everyone there and Vince see him as the only true heel they have, and that people legit hate him. Mm-hmm. And they go and they mistake that for being automatically a good thing in the year 2020.
Maybe
it's not.
Maybe it's the quarantine. I don't know. I think Baron's over. He's over with me. I like him.
I enjoy him. I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think he's the closest.
Put this up here again.
I think he is the closest to having that, being at a place where I could legitimately enjoy him as the doofus he should be. But I'm just not confident they're actually going to follow through enough.
That's true.
I think they're always going to get a little shy about making him not feel quote unquote legitimate or as a threat in the ring.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes, no, for sure. That's the one thing from keeping it being super silly. But at the same time, I kind of like that he's booked in that upper mid card, but just to be kind of the comedy spot.
Yeah, but he wins so much.
Yeah, well, he's the ultimate company guy. He's the new Triple H.
Triple H would fucking work.
Yeah. Were you still talking about SmackDown?
Let's talk about Money in the friggin' Bank.
All right.
Bank in the Bank.
Pre-show match: Jeff Hardy beats Cesaro. I didn't see it.
I also haven't seen it. I bet it was.
I bet it was good, but way too short.
13 minutes.
Oh, that's better than normal.
Pretty good. I will go back and rewatch it. I just haven't yet. Because Cesaro's great in the ring. Jeff Hardy, every time anyone goes away and comes back, I'm curious to watch.
He moved way better than I thought he would.
That's good. That's good.
He had some good time off the rest, and he looked good right when they first came back, and then the injuries started happening. So
yeah,
that's him being in a lot better of a place mentally, and with his substance abuse problems, you could tell he's a lot of passion's there because he really wants that good run. Mm-hmm. And doesn't want to be remembered for all the bullshit and everything. So
I hope that's what it is.
They obviously saw huge things for him. He won the U.S. title the week that he and Matt split up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We had a fatal 4-way tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The New Day.
Looks fun.
The Miz and John Morrison. Lucha House Party and the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah.
Do unto others. Pantera riff plays in the background.
I wish
Just pinch harmonics.
I wish Jackson Riker was more of an in-ring presence. Is he like injured or something or no?
No, they just never use him, and he's like the guy that looks the best out of him. They're kind of going with this weird like veterans thing with them, and he actually like was like in the military. Wasn't. It's like
yeah, Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, like have Cutler be the mouthpiece.
Brandon Cutler has not been good in the like he's regressing in the ring. What? Steve Cutler. Oh, who's Brandon?
I don't know. I said it was
Jobber.
Brandon Cutler is in he's on the Bears, right? Was on the Bears.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Type 1 diabetic.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler.
I don't know anything about football. I just proved that.
Jay Cutler smoking is one of the greatest memes.
It really is.
Oh, the old pigskin.
I do like. I like this match. I thought that Lucha House Party really got to kind of show what they can do, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like for multiple weeks in a row, they've been able to do this. So, they made everybody except for John Morrison and The Miz look great.
John Morrison and The Miz, it's one of those things that I just can't get behind because it feels such an afterthought.
Yeah, it's just even though it wasn't right, it was
they're some of the most entertaining people like on the promos because like they're actually funny together because The Miz actually dials back The Miz and you can see a little bit of Mike because like they're actually like best friends. So
and they seem to be having fun and it's not necessarily that it just sucks because that's what The Miz and Morrison
really bad in the ring, so it really stops everything.
Well, when you have someone like John Morrison who is actually a lot better than The Miz in the ring, it does seem a bit glaring. But
the Shaman of Sexy, the Friday Night Delight.
But that's what they were before. I mean, so it's this thing that he goes away for a long time. It was a big deal that John Morrison got re-signed, and then, bam, just like that, he's back to where he was when he left.
Yeah, it's like just, nothing changed.
And they're not even
even part of this.
And they're not even doing anything to make it feel like it's more special this time or anything.
No, they're just doing what the fuck was the Office rap song? Dirty Scranton.
Oh yeah, Straight Out of Scranton.
Straight Out of Scranton.
Yeah.
It was Lazy Scranton.
Lazy Scranton.
Lazy Scranton. That's
because there's a lazy. That's right.
Yeah. Making fun of Lazy Sunday. The first YouTube video I ever saw.
Yeah, that video they released in that song is just like a bad version, even worse version of that. I wanted to die.
I did not like it. And I thought they thought it was really, really funny, and not that the joke was on them, and that sucked.
I thought it was okay. That's coming from me.
The New Day ended up winning the titles for what, the 1000th time?
They retained.
They are 8-time champs.
Okay.
When Big E was eating everybody's finishers, I knew they were winning.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, that's cool.
Yo, I forgot where I heard this idea come up, but now I heard it. I want a Big E versus Drew singles match so bad.
Dude,
It would be sick.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We were supposed to have MVP versus R-Truth.
MVP is fucking killing it right now.
Oh my god.
Doing a job.
Like, I wasn't watching really when he was around, but I would like check in, and I distinctly remember like talking to a friend of mine like in high school, like that also was like vaguely familiar with wrestling but wasn't watching at the time, and we saw MVP. We like turned it on and saw MVP, and immediately were like, "Wow, I'm glad I'm not watching wrestling right now. This character is dumb, and this guy isn't very good." So like
the fact that now that he's playing the role, the stuff he's doing with Lashley is incredible because he's like he's a real life motivational speaker, and he's basically like, I'm going to channel all of that into Bobby Lashley, and that's perfect right now. It's what Bobby Lashley needs. Someone just encouraging him to be Lashley. I'll tell you what we don't need, and that's skipping forward to Raw, is Lana just fucking yelling. I think
she's about to be written off for a bit and like repackaged.
I don't like that at all. It was a really cool segment, and then it was just like, oh, Oh man, this sucks.
It's weird because like I don't know if it's decisions that she's making for her character or direction she's getting, but like she's just like the screaming she's doing. And then you go back to like original run when she's managing Rusev and how good she was, and she was like had a wide range of performance. Like she'd be really like quiet and almost the Jake the Snake thing of like speak quietly and like directly and make people like lean in to listen. Like she had that down in their original run when she was Rusev's manager, and now it's just but she's been acting more, so you'd think she'd be better, but she's worse.
Yeah, it seems like she's become like a parody of like a C-level actor.
No, for real. They're like, all right, just here, do the first take. Just get all your energy out or whatever, and then she just screams, and it's not even directed anywhere. It's just screaming. I hate it. Don't like it. But MVP, yes, great.
MVP decides he's not going to be in the match because Lashley's going to be in the match, and Lashley kills R-Truth, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then R-Truth was the best after he's like, I should be happy that I beat MVP tonight, but something is missing in my life. And he just looks at a framed picture of him holding the 24/7 title. It was just really fun.
And then starts yelling at Tom Brady.
Yeah, he said he's going to go get it. He's going to go sack Tom Brady.
So I wouldn't be surprised if WWE knew he was trying to go back into football, Gronk, because I have a feeling like when stuff kind of gets going, like there's going to be like some random football shenanigans with R-Truth and him, and like at like a camp or something. That like all this was just like known because people were like, "Oh, WWE didn't know." It's like I'm pretty sure you kind of have to disclose shit like that.
Oh, I think Vince just sees dollar signs with the 24/7 title being involved in the NFL.
In all these interviews I've seen with Gronk, he brings it up and he's saying like how he thought his coach was going to get it from him and he has to protect it against everybody now. And he's trying, so.
Fortunately, Tom Brady will never get it because he is literally the slowest person alive.
But it would do a lot. And I don't really care for Tom Brady whatsoever, but it would do a lot for that title if Tom Brady held it for a small amount of time.
Know who should get it? Fucking Giselle.
Ooh, yeah.
Or one of his kids that he kisses on the mouth.
Damien Chazelle, the director of Whiplash?
No, Giselle.
Man,
Tom Brady, the supermodel and Tom Brady's wife.
Oh. Next match. Bayley beat Tamina.
Tamina's fucking bad.
This was her best match, and it was bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Also, I she's 42. Like, I know people were like, maybe it's time to like run with Tamina, but she's about to break through. She's just gonna get worse.
No. I think she was like I'm not gonna say she was good, but she like promos and stuff were like, I wasn't actively like fast forwarding, and then this match, it's Bayley's one of the best workers in the company and like did her best to make Tamina look really good, and like Tamina based pretty okay for some of those spots for Bayley.
Yeah.
The spot where there was the whiplash into the ropes on the outside and Bayley comes back and gets clotheslined. Like that was sick. I've never seen a spot like that.
That was really cool.
But that's all Bayley. Tamina, again, based okay for Bayley in a couple spots.
And when she was so blown up, and it just wasn't good.
I thought of this while watching it, but I wonder if her getting a title shot might be hey, a documentary just came out about your dad being a murderer. Want a little bit of a push that pay-per-view bonus.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be either.
Oh,
it sucks. That's not on her that her dad's a murderer.
Oh no, I didn't cover up any murder. Look, I put his daughter in the title match. I didn't cover up any murder.
Yeah, because people
don't mention her last name anymore.
People you see on social media and stuff, people legitimately seem to really like her as a person. She seems really well liked. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they're why not? It's summer. It's this really weird time. Let's try to distract her from some shit she's facing in her personal life, you know.
And
like,
you know,
like,
if she wants to,
Grunsky.
and exactly, if she wants to keep wrestling, if she feels like she's got a lot left in the tank and wants to keep wrestling, good on her, go for it. But I feel like she does probably have a really good chance of transitioning into a role backstage where she could be very, very helpful. She's been in the company for a long time. She has been,
and she's from wrestling. Like she knows wrestling.
She knows wrestling. Like she has a place in the world of professional wrestling, and as long as she wants to keep wrestling in the ring, go for it. You know, but
maybe don't.
But maybe not too many more, you know, title shots.
Yeah, I'm like outside. This is her last like singles feud for like a title, I think probably ever in her career.
Yeah. And like no disrespect to her, but yeah, it is one of those things where it's like it's not.
Yeah. Cool on her, like fine, like I'm fine with her getting this one last little feud. Wrestling isn't great right now anyways.
Yeah, that's fair.
That being said, it was the match that I think had the least consequence either way, going, you know, in and out of it. It was still fine.
Yeah. Braun Strowman defeated Bray Wyatt.
Man,
if they actually had it going, like they taped this match before, which is funny. And people were kind of complaining about it because like there's the puppets and all the shit. And it's like, listen, do you really want them to go out there and wrestle for 20 minutes?
No, the puppets weren't at all my issue with the match. I'd say the opposite, like inverse of that. Like the puppets were cool. I even thought this match was okay. Like I thought this was Braun's best singles match since his feud with Roman.
Yeah.
And I thought it was obvious. Braun is the godfather to Bray's kid. It's obvious that Bray was like, I'm gonna fucking put my dude over, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing about that is that I like the whole swerve of like Braun putting on the mask and then getting over it. Like I thought it made him look, I think Derek, you said this in the text, like smarter.
Yeah.
Than he ever has. My issue is like it's the least interesting thing they could do. Like they could have like they're not gonna have Braun change because it wasn't the Fiend. So like everyone else that's faced the Fiend has come out of it changed. Even the Miz only faced Funhouse Bray and came out of it changed. Yeah. Braun isn't going to, but like he should.
It could go so sour so quick, but I honestly think a really cool idea would be to have. Okay, hear me out. Braun gets mind controlled. All right, Braun's being mind controlled. He never takes off that mask. He's used in big matches as basically another one of Bray's puppets. Yes, scary.
That looks like one of the masks from Three Ninjas.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
But anyway, so and then I think that would be really fun, and I think they could do a lot of character stuff, and they could really build a lot of stuff up, and then there becomes this sort of inner struggle within Braun. He's like, "No, I'm not just a puppet. I am the monster among men." And then he finally starts breaking out of this mind control, and then that's when he fights the Fiend. It's like that's a fun story. That's a fun one I could get into. So for him to be like, "No, just kidding. I did bring that mask and I put it under the ring and then I put it on, but just as a goof."
Yeah, well, the reason I like that is because Braun is a dullard. He's dumb. He doesn't do anything smart. Everything he does is stupid. So he actually looked smart for once. And it was I wasn't predicting it, but it was boring. It was the easiest thing they could have done.
I think that kind of pissed me off was that I thought it was actually really compelling, and then when it turned out to be like, I'm the controller of my own destiny. That's when I was like,
I'm the conductor of my own train.
That's where I was a little bit like, God damn it.
And I know I said it made him look smart, but it also kind of the only way, like, if he didn't do that, he would have been beat by Funhouse Bray.
Fucking Funhouse Bray.
Like, that's even worse. That's like, a fate only for the Miz.
I do like that they made Funhouse Bray look like very legit, like he was when he actually was wrestling, you know, and like keeping up with Braun, like within kayfabe, like he makes him look super strong.
Yeah.
Like I think they even could have done the same swerve of like Braun, like, I tricked you, but then like have it be like, oh, Braun, you think you tricked him, but like, did you actually like?
But really, who's in whose head?
Like have him just like look back at the mask for a second before leaving or something. Like,
and honestly, it depending on how much creative control Bray has of whatever's going on or how much input he has, like I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be excited if they did something like that, where it was sort of like if they developed this into layers and actually gave a kind of just made a complex personality around Braun Strowman. Like that's cool.
That would be the best thing for Braun.
Yeah. Like, but I don't have a ton of faith they're going to execute that. But you know, we'll see. I mean, if anyone could do it, it would be Bray, and you know, that's cool.
Yeah, Nicholas needs to get involved.
Nicholas. No. That's going to be Bray's retirement match. It's going to be like 10 years down the line, and then the Fiend, but it's actually Nicholas, and then they have a battle back and forth in the brain zone that he took John Cena, and then Nicholas defeats the Fiend.
You know what? I've heard of worse things.
Let's talk about Drew versus Seth Rollins.
If this match was in front of people, this would have been one of the best matches in a long time in WWE. This was really fucking
This is like right up there, top of quarantine matches. Like it's
yeah.
I know a lot of people get on Seth for things. Fucker can show up in the ring.
He's a great WWE wrestler.
And I thought he was really good.
Oh, I think they tore the roof off the place. It was so fun. Yeah, it is one of those things where you think if there was a crowd there, just giving it that energy, it would have tickled the old fancy of the old Meltzer guy. Eh?
Exactly, tickled that fancy.
Yeah, but Drew retained. How many stomps did he kick out of?
2, 3.
Was it 2?
Or was I don't know, 2 of them? One of them, I think he kicked out of one, and then Seth went for a second one, and then he got out of it.
Okay,
but
then did the Glasgow kiss, and then
that was
Claymore him.
God, I love how he's turned the Claymore into like an out of nowhere finish.
Me too. The 3-2-1 thing kind of sucks. It works for
I don't mind it.
I don't mind if it's like if it's guys that he's. If it's a big match, I don't think he should get that level of advantage over somebody, you know, or like that. I don't know.
But then he didn't in this one. Strong. Yeah, like he went for the 3-2-1, didn't get it, and then he ended up getting it out of nowhere.
Yeah,
so I actually like that. Like
I do too.
Like he can beat geeks with a 3-2-1, but like when he's actually like in a match, then it don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Like only to be pulled out when he's like, oh. I'm winning.
It's exactly like the Orton like voices in his head like ground like
pound the ground.
Like he does that like in like normal matches he'll hit the RKO after that, but then it's like always subverted somehow in the like big matches.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, let's talk about the main event, the Money in the Bank match. Both of them at the same time.
I don't even know how we're going to cover this. Should we just talk about our favorite moments? Should we try to beat by beat it?
I'm going to say with the one thing I didn't love. So it starts out and they introduce 2 people at a time of each gender. And the women aren't having any fun, whereas the men are just having so much fun with it. Like,
Daniel Bryan and Otis.
Like,
ready
Otis
to fight, boys?
You guys ready to fight?
Otis was just stoked. Like, they were all having a good time. They all
sets and rips, baby.
They all fucking hated Baron. Like, it seemed like a bunch of dudes hanging out, getting ready to fight each other.
Well, it kind of makes me, it really does make you wonder, though, like the behind the scenes sort of like how they're working out how these matches are going to go. It almost just seems like the approach was completely different. because consistently throughout the thing, the women's side of it, give or take with a few other, like, there were some comedy spots. The thing with Stephanie, who was like filmed in her hallway, it looked like.
That made me so mad.
But like that was a bit of a funny spot. Also, like, did no one tell Dana Brooke that the thing was on the roof? But
she looked like the biggest geek.
That sucked because she was looking great in that match, and she's been like doing good until then. She was still in the match. This is still a huge step forward for her. She has momentum.
No, and
she just got like berated by fucking Stephanie.
It was memorable. So if anything, hey, any press is good press. But,
I would say that she comes out of the match kind of like compared to where she went in, she came out better than Shayna did.
Where'd she go?
She just disappeared.
I watched it again today. The last time you see Shayna in that match was Nia like gives her a chop and she hits a wall, and that's the last time you see.
She
Shayna.
Wasn't even on the roof.
No, she didn't make it up to the roof. The last like real thing she did was choke out Rey Mysterio,
which was sick.
By the way, Rey had I think my favorite moment of the whole thing, and it actually kicks it back to the beginning. After so Otis, so it starts out the men are brawling in the gym. Otis puts the weights down on AJ Styles, right? AJ's acting like he's stuck, even though he's obviously can get out.
That was a little hard for me to suspend my disbelief.
Yeah, I know. But to me, that's where I was like, okay, I can unbuckle I can buckle in.
I can unbuckle my belt.
I can buckle in because I'm in for a wild ride. And so he's like, Ray, help me out. And Ray's like, no, you're fucking crazy. Why would I help you out?
Oh,
yeah.
And so they're running down the hallway, right? So Ray is the one who passes as the toilet flushes, and Brother Love comes out. And I love you, man. And my favorite thing was Ray just smiled at him like he hadn't seen him in forever. It was just like, me too, but I gotta go. And then just keeps running. It's just a fun little stop and just like, I love you too, but I gotta leave, man. I don't know why it cracked me up, and
it was great. Can we talk about AJ's story throughout this match?
Yes.
Well, before we get into his story, I just want to say I'm very disappointed that Brother Love did not interact with AJ because Brother Love introduced The Undertaker.
That would have been actually really cool.
Oh,
yeah. So AJ, after he was stuck under those weights, he just gets up. He's like, "Where are you, Ray?" And like his whole story was searching for Rey Mysterio.
Well, because he was mad that Ray didn't help him out. It's like, dude, you're trying to get the fucking contract. You wouldn't help him out.
But after that, like the contract didn't seem to matter to him. He was just looking for Ray, and then he came across the purple room.
So he's like, so he's looking for Ray. He sees a picture of Ray. I love like the feint with the delay on it. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka.
That was
and he punches it.
He punches the painting.
Having music and no commentary was so good.
It was. Yeah. I loved pretty much everything about it.
There were so many different types of music. It was like Avengers music. It was like kind of spooky music, and then it was anime fight music when they got to the roof.
Some rock music, like when they did the drone shots, like
totally. It felt like 80s. Like, I loved it. But then, so they're making their way up. There's a point. So like Asuka at the very beginning, she jumps off the balcony of like the first floor onto the crowd, hops in the elevator, gets going. I thought she was going straight to the top. I was like,
also her dancing in the elevator on the security cam.
So great.
Good.
Asuka is like.
Asuka is the best. Asuka number one.
Absolutely. Like since quarantine, she already has always been. Right there, but she's like at a different level, like it's for the like whole quarantine time. Like,
yeah.
And I think everybody's seeing it now too, especially.
But so they make their way up to the floor where it looks like because WWE doesn't own that whole building, right? They take up that upper floor and then.
Oh, that's their building.
They're trying to move out of it, but they had delayed that because of COVID.
Oh, well, damn. Fucking big operation. It's a big ass building. But so that little area that looks like it's just walls, open walls, but it looks like a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And then so like AJ's over or Daniel Bryan's over there giving I can't remember who was giving the yes kicks to, but then you got Otis there just to Baron, I think. And then Otis doing the yes thing.
Yes.
He gets kicked.
I love that both Aleister Black and Daniel Bryan, like the whole time we're just like wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love they like they showed them go into the stairs with each other, and then they like came out of the stairwell like tossing kicks at each other, like they like wrestled up the stairs.
Yeah. Alistair kicking AJ into the Undertaker room was so good because he's like kind of Taker part due.
Go. I also have a room, and this is my dad's room.
Was this supposed to be like Undertaker's office?
Right. This is where Mark sleeps when he stops by.
Like, that's where he just goes and like takes his calls and does business.
That's where he rests between WrestleManias.
It's where he goes and like says like well wishes to just cops all day.
Yeah. But I love how AJ gets kicked into that room with all the fog and the lights, and then but Alistair just gives a little chuckle after like,
I'm in my dad's room now.
They make their way over to and then Doink the fucking clown, but not Doink the clown pops up from behind a chair.
Was that Frank the clown?
I don't know.
I hope
it was a little cameo.
It looked like a WWE intern in makeup.
Today when I watched it, I hit pause to see if it was like, is that like somebody? But not that I could tell.
Doink the clown, like
several iterations, right?
There's multiple iterations literally existing right now that have nothing to do with Matt Bourne, the original, who did pass away.
Passed away, yeah.
And like nothing to do with even the Doinks that replaced him in WWE. Yeah, like there's an Alabama Doink that has a viral video of having a match in a Walmart. So.
Oh, is that the Alabama Doink that also used to fight Heidenreich in parking lots?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, and there's like an Applebee's one and like a Golden Corral fight. Yeah.
And he's the size of like 6 Doinks.
The Alabama Doink. Sounds like a sex move.
I was Doink up in Alabama. Got a runner's Doink.
Roll Tide, Bruce.
They make their way over to a room that just has a massive spread of food and one Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Who I was like, hell yeah, I want to watch Paul fucking mow down on this food.
I would hope he gets ready to eat like that too, just like a little like dramatically the way he was getting ready to eat food.
Yeah, he just like takes his time like getting ready to take his first bite.
All of this catering is mine.
Well, you see, all this catering costs as much as I owed Rob Van Dam at the end of EC.
Oh, and okay, so before they get to the cafeteria is where we have the part where on the women's side they end up in the Money in the Bank conference room where Dana Brooke hits Shayna Baszler and is like, "Tell me where the contract is." And that's when I was like, "So no one told you? It's up top." Anyway, there's the one hanging down just in the room full of cash, which I would have been like, good enough for me.
Probably fake money.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have been like, well, I'll take it home and find out for myself.
It's bison dollars from the Street Fighter movie.
I was gonna say Okada dollars.
Dude, it's just young bucks.
Yeah.
But
all of the above. And
anyway, so she's like, I won, and then you get this weird Stephanie video where it's just like, oh,
welcome to the Queendom.
Stephanie, don't leave your actual house. Just pull out your phone, have somebody, have Hunter, have Paul just shoot you. And she's just being like, clean this up. Naya's drooling.
Don't even
disgusting.
put it in high quality either. Like the resolution shit.
They 100% decided to throw that in day of because like it wouldn't be an issue to get a camera to, the fucking Levesque household.
I'm like, they don't have a nice one just laying around somewhere. But
they might
like
not.
They could take their fucking iPhones and put them like in a better resolution than that fucking medium quality shit.
Yeah, it was front facing cam.
Yeah, it was obvious, but I forgave it. I was like, whatever. Except she was just mean. I was like, clean Nia up. She's drooling everywhere. It's disgusting. I was like, oh man. And then anyway, yeah, they make their thing. So anyway, Dana Brooke gets a fucking painting tossed over her head, which I loved. Great slapstick funnies. Yeah. She's the one, Dana Brooke's the one who ends up hitting Paul Heyman. Paul knocks his sandwich into Otis. Otis has a fucking an exorcism moment. Food fight! And then just like chucking food. Paul Heyman takes a bunch of, it looks like orzo fucking, I don't know, grain to his face or something.
I really wish that they had cut to, for some reason, Kevin Owens just like walks out of a room
Yes,
there,
I-
and then from the camera's perspective, he gets hit with a pie because
Yeah,
to
right.
keep that
Really
thread
funny.
going.
Just to be like, oh, we actually get to find out who threw the pie.
But no, we don't.
was-
It's just the camera again.
It was Paul the whole time. Yeah, it was just the cameraman. I'm trying to fix this. But anyway, so it ends in a food fight and then a standoff between Otis and Nia, where I was like, "Whoa, twinsies, same height, fucking sturdy build." I was like, Otis.
I was shook.
I will say this: I listened to it again. I watched it again today at work, and I had my earphones in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting some ASMR Otis fucking mowing on that turkey sandwich. And it's pretty bad. But,
that sounds
yeah.
awful.
But anyway, they leave, and then Otis finds the dessert room. Because, he's fat.
No, he needs more calories for more gains.
But he threw, what I did like is he just reached his hand in a jar of something and just threw it at his face. And he finds a pie. And he's about to eat the pie, but then who rolls up on a rascal scooter? People power. People power.
Hey, Otis. Never mind. I'm not going to make the pie joke I was about to make.
Yeah.
Let's just say he has to deal with Nikki Bella's mom.
And then Johnny Ace took a fucking pie to the face.
Hell yeah.
And he took
Radical.
it well. It was great. It was radical.
Radical, man.
It was radical, Johnny.
If I leave the berries from this pie out long enough, maybe they'll turn into wine and I can give it to JJ as a present.
And then I don't know. Before they get up to the roof, more chaos ensues.
AJ and Brian were having such a good brawl.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
looked like they were having a
cool office.
It looked like they were having a good
God,
time.
that fucking T-Rex.
Dude,
Is that real?
Vince's
Yes.
office rocks.
Is that a real T-Rex skull?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it has to be though.
He
I'm
didn't-
fucking stoked though.
He didn't want he wanted them to film in his room, but he didn't want it to be thrashed. And the reason, because he didn't want anything to happen to the skull. And
Well, no shit, dude. That thing probably cost like $1.5 million.
oh yeah. And the reason they push the chairs in at the end is because that's what you're expected to do when you leave Vince's office.
I love like the office almost looks like they cleared it out like so that they could film something there. But no, that's actually what his office always looks like. It is literally the most Spartan design thing like office ever.
He
And
just
then
spends his
also
days
they,
jotting down on a legal pad.
No, apparently that's like a joke about him. He still just writes stuff on a yellow legal pad. And then
Hell yeah.
he's a germaphobe, and that's why you see him like take a hit of the fucking hand sanitizer. And like they fucking up the audio on that because
Yeah, you got some ASMR hand sanitizer, which is my favorite. Which is honestly my favorite thing to do at work. Whenever I use something, just right whoever's near me. But no, that was fun. Yeah, and then they got out. And AJ's like, "Man, you look like a real coward in there." AJ, or then fucking Daniel's like, "You're the one who told us to go back and push the chairs in." You're right, I did do that. And I was like,
And then
man,
they keep fighting.
they're just having so much fun, and that's where like we were talking about. I feel like in the rooms where they were discussing how these matches were going to go, you could tell that the men's side seemed to be taking it in a lot more of like this is not a serious like bout kind of
we're
way.
climbing a
We can have
building.
some fun.
Let's have fun. And
And the women-
campy.
AJ
and-
is so good at fun.
Yeah,
It's so weird, but he is.
but on that same
Especially,
token,
like,
though,
when he does something that's fun, like play video games, he's a big baby.
yeah. No, I do think he somewhere in there has a sense of humor that I can appreciate, but it's very buried down there by a bunch of toxic masculinity.
He's a
You
human
see, the
episode of
button
South
don't
Park.
work. I pressed it. You saw me right here. I pressed the button.
Well, you gave me a broken freaking controller. Just catch the ball, you freaking turd. But yeah, but on the same token, I appreciate though that on the other side, that it did feel like while there was some really fun moments on the women's side of it, that felt more like a legitimate contest, which I think rounded the whole thing out in a really good way.
Yeah, I thought the balance was good. Also, like I don't remember, this is what the this is the third year of Women's Money in the Bank at all.
Yeah,
like
very true.
They have more to lose still. Like even if like especially just in their minds, they're like always gonna still in these kind of matches need like wanting to be like pushing it and showing that they're serious and they need to be respected still. So
yeah, like you could almost like speculate that the conversation was the same. Like, okay, so this doesn't really. People are already gonna think that this doesn't matter. So on one hand, on that side, they were like, well, we'll show them that we can actually still pull off a really badass fucking fight in this. And then on the other side, it's like, well, this doesn't really matter, so let's just have a shitload of fucking goofs with it.
Yeah.
So then Asuka shows up with like a janitor who ends up being, it's Bruce Pritchard's son. I didn't know.
Okay. I was like, that's got to be somebody.
Kane.
Yes.
Kane Pritchard?
Yeah, like, so Kane is Bruce Pritchard's like the best idea he ever contributed. 100%.
Oh, okay. That's a Pritchard move?
That was a Pritchard pitch, was the character of Kane.
And he named his fucking son after an idea he had for a wrestler?
I think he might be switched, but
yeah. Oh, the kid predates Kane?
I think so. Yeah.
So it's the biblical thing. Well, that's cool though. I didn't know that. That's a fun little Easter egg in there.
Screaming like, "Where's the roof?"
Yeah.
And then he's mopping, and Dana Brooke takes the fucking hardest bump ever.
Dude, Dana Brooke hit her fucking head, and I think that's the last you see of her in the match. I don't think she made it up to the roof.
And that's what solidifies that she's the biggest geek. She literally she grabbed the wrong briefcase, got yelled at by Sammy McMahon, and then slipped and fell in the bathroom or like in the wherever she was.
That little break room area,
and then was done.
It just cuts back to Kane Pritchard mopping up her brains off the floor.
Yeah. I don't get paid for this.
There's like a streak where you can tell the body's been dragged away.
His brother Love.
Yeah. And when they make their way up to the roof, tussles ensue. There's good times. The thing that I thought was really interesting was when Asuka did set up the ladder, and then her and Corbin are climbing it together. I'm like, Corbin, why are you interfering with her getting her fucking briefcase?
Yeah, that was dumb. That was
no, I fucking love that though. That's exactly the Corbin I want.
He's like, no, they're both mine.
Yeah, like I think like the best explanation I heard of, I think it's just his character being dumb, but the best explanation is like he was trying to keep her from grabbing his.
Yeah,
like
no, it's mine.
No,
you grabbed that one.
Hey, no. I'm businessman that wears suits sometimes.
Or
this is my Applebee's.
Maybe he understands that Asuka is a legitimate threat.
Maybe
that she might take her
seriously.
Yeah.
And she proved that by fucking kicking him off that ladder.
Oh hell yeah! And also, we didn't mention that Baron Corbin nonchalantly threw Rey Mysterio
because that
happened after.
That happened after. But But the other thing that happened was before they even got up there, that I thought was such a fun like cinematic move was that Baron was like beating up on AJ in a separate conference room, and then he's just like, "I'm gonna go to the roof," just to nobody.
Oh, we didn't mention my favorite fucking Baron moment from this match, but down in the gym at the very beginning. When he
breaks the mirror.
Breaks the mirror.
And then just stares at it.
Stares at it as if when the mirror broke, he thought he had shattered himself.
Yeah,
like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the Baron I want.
He felt the weight. He felt the weight of 7 years of bad luck.
I like everybody that when they looked at him, they're just like, oh.
Yeah. Like, oh, you broke it. No, and then Baron, attempts murder at the very least on Rey Mysterio and then Aleister Black by just chucking him off the top of that fucking roof.
It just was so non-impactful.
Well, there was no fanfare about it at all. No one, you would think the match would stop cold. They'd be like, wait, whoa, bro, you fucking murderer.
It was almost like when real tragedies happen in real life and, things don't stop. Life just goes on.
And then WWE just doesn't care.
What really should have happened, and spoiler alert, Elias interferes, Elias should have hit him with the guitar, then threw him off the roof.
Yeah, that's what they're setting up on SmackDown the last like 2 weeks.
This is what I don't know why I thought this would have actually happened, but it was a thought in my head. Alistair ends up like floating to the top and gets the briefcase.
No, they should have had Rey Mysterio do his old entrance where he pops up.
Booyaka!
Who's that jumping out the sky?
It'd be literally out of the sky this time.
Because like you could have like tricked Cameron it easy. And
Oh
it's, like,
man!
Baron's about to win, and then like that music plays. Who's that jump? And it's just like Mysterio flying in from nowhere.
And then he's like 25 pounds lighter too. It's like, what the fuck?
I lost my knee.
But now I have wings.
The thing that sucks though is because there was a moment, and we'll skip to real quick on the Raw that followed, where they were asking like, so Ray, what happened? What happened? You got chucked off a roof. And then I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. And he's just like, I fell off the roof, and then a miracle happened. And then I was like, yes, yes, what happened? He's like, I fell on another roof that was 6 feet lower. I was like,
the miracle was architecture.
Fuck you.
It was
They could have something fun with it.
Oh, what
like,
was this
AJ
miracle?
just came back from the dead.
And I was going to climb my way back up. And then Alistair fell down. And I was like, on top of you? And he landed in the same spot. And we both knew it was over. I was like, fucking sucks. That could have been great.
That was so.
It would have been great if they both climbed back up.
Or if they flew on a magic carpet ride.
Or if they should like cut to the Undertaker room, and Alistair steps out of it after being thrown off the roof.
Oh, they both pop out of the casket like what?
That's
The, like a tube or like one of the fucking pipes in Mario. Just like,
hell yeah!
And Alistair now just has Sarah tattooed on his neck.
Ray can't stop wearing Blue Lives Matter pants.
That's fine. Anyways.
Yeah. So the end sequence for. I mean, Asuka won.
So then Asuka grabbed the title. She kicked Baron off, and then she got that. She got that
super
briefcase.
clean. Like I was shocked at like just how straight up and clean. But then, when we get to Raw, I think it makes a ton of sense.
It makes so much sense.
And then it also makes sense because there's some bullshit that happened in the. Like not like bullshit as in it's bad. Just like it was like some weird shit that happened in men's. So like you have to have one be like a straight up winner, and then one have like the. With it.
And as we were talking about, they the whole time had the one that felt like the more actual physical contest, and that's the one that had the more clear present winner.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's cool.
And speaking of just like having that good balance for finishes, it's like such a refreshingly good compared to last year's Money in the Bank, where we had an instant cash in and then the worst Money in the Bank finish ever. With Brock coming in. And so like Money in the Bank just felt like it did not matter literally the next day.
Yeah.
This time, the only thing that got me about the men's one was that we just saw that spot at the Mania ladder match for the tag titles when the two pull it down together between Corbin and Styles. And so I was like, oh, we saw it. But then they did a really fun sort of different take on it. Kind of. No, except John, I don't remember how it ended at Mania. But then,
it was two people fell off the ladder together and dropped it. So this was a little bit different.
A little bit different.
Also, apparently, Otis literally, by the way, like said on an episode of Up, Down, Down that because of the shape of his muscles and his body, he can't reach straight up. Like, look at his body; he can only get to about here.
He can't. So
he could not. This was the only way for, like, this was the only finish to make this possible.
Or they needed a taller ladder.
The dead show ladder.
Yeah. Which I think is actually fucking hilarious because his arms really do have about that much mobility. But the finish of that saw AJ and Baron take it off at the same time. Elias comes, hits Baron, so Baron falls. Let's go to the briefcase. AJ fucking catch the ball, you friggin' turd. Dropped it.
Yeah,
right into
those
Otis's,
wide receiver gloves like are doing him tons of good.
Right into Otis's arms, and then another one of my favorite moments in wrestling history is Yo Mandy, I did it.
Yeah, it was like straight up Yo Adrian.
It was that. And, it was perfect. I was jumping up and down on my couch. I loved it. Oh, good time. And then it was like, we'll see you. Here's the last ride. See you tomorrow. I was like, beautiful. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was
not
great.
Including pre-show. Oh, wonderful.
Then also the last ride was really good.
I liked it.
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been watching The Last Dance.
Speaking of, dude, Monday Night Raw, huh?
Yeah.
They're cashing in on some Last Dance some
Jesus
buzz.
Christ.
We get ourselves in the near main event slot.
Yeah.
The fucking Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders in a pickup basketball game.
Talk about it. Well, I don't want to the restroom.
I don't want it wasn't good. It wasn't good, and it wasn't so bad that it.
Yeah,
was.
It was exactly.
If they would have just done the second segment where Hanson's fucking dunking and shit, I think it would have been really funny.
It feels like two different they had two different punchlines to this skit, and they just did both. There's one punchline that the Viking Raiders lost by that much, and then there was one punchline that was they're secretly really good.
Yeah, and it's why'd you spend so much time losing? So
is next week are the Street Profits gonna secretly be better at axe throwing or whatever the fuck they do?
So I think that's the thing, right? Because so the whole thing stemmed from the Viking Raiders being anything you guys can do, we can do. And they were like, all right, let's play basketball. And which I'm like, okay, all right. Because that's obviously not what the Viking Raiders meant. So it's a silly segment. Okay. And then, like you said, it didn't need to have two separate endings that they just did and then ran together.
And the way they filmed it felt like a 90s TGIF show showing a sports game.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
You could tell all of these guys have played pickup games around the PC, but none of them are the Street Profits are okay. They're both fine basketball players, but none of them are good enough to pull off being filmed playing it and making it interesting.
They're pro wrestlers, right? It's that was a small part of Raw, but it was one that I was on an otherwise episode that felt very much like Monday After Mania feel of just
it didn't drag, which was really nice.
It didn't drag. We got the return of Jinder Mahal, who's kind of a baby face.
I think they're gonna try his character from his championship run, but as a good guy.
Sure, I'm into it.
He's at least trying to convince himself that he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Which, I think Jinder's another one, kind of like Baron, that's kind of self-aware about what's going on. I just hope that they write something that he can actually do, not have it be shitty eventually. Because he's funny, in those little moments, where he has that blank smile, the Bob Roode babyface smile.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Bob Roode?
Yeah.
You think he would have got cut, right?
I don't know. I don't think he can get in the country.
Oh,
yeah, he lives in Canada.
Oh, does he? Okay, I was I know he didn't get cut, but you'd think he'd hit that list.
Yeah.
Wait, did Curtis Axel get released?
Yeah.
He got released, but well after the fact. So I think he asked for his release.
But I was just thinking these skits would, if you were ever going to repackage him as Mr. Perfect Jr.
Yeah.
Is him come in and show both these teams up.
Yeah. So let's talk about the big news from Monday Night Raw.
Becky Lynch is pregnant.
Yeah.
Mother.
I honestly,
dude, I bet they fucked to that song.
Just the whole dude, they fucked to that Danzig Sings Elvis album that just came out. That's really
it is 100% whatever. Insert
rips.
Problematic metalcore band here.
Yeah, that's what it really is.
I have to listen to it to get hard.
I get hard to Parkway Drive, then we fuck.
Yo,
cry me a fucking river.
Here's my take. Shayna's right.
That kid's gonna fucking be a dork.
Yo, as long as Seth is just an absentee father, the kid might be okay.
Well, judging by how Seth was behaving all night on Monday,
I did enjoy that.
I know it was because we're gonna jump all over the place. Yes, Becky is pregnant. She came out. She had the case. She was like, I have to go away for a while. was vague about it. Asuka came out and was like, "What the fuck are you doing with my case over here? What are you talking about? You got to go for a while." And Becky's like, "Last night was actually not for an opportunity to face me. It was for the title itself." Unlocks the briefcase. Here's the belt. Asuka celebrates.
Beautiful.
It was so much fun. She was having such a blast. It was awesome.
Like her running around yelling, "I'm the champion" was so good.
Yeah.
Like
telling Byron to move.
Yeah. My thought on it is like, so the Money in the Bank match was apparently filmed back April 15th. And when they filmed it, they did not necessarily know that, like, when they filmed that match, they didn't know it was for the title. They just thought it was a normal Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that since then, Asuka has learned, like, they've told, Kana, the real person, hey, you're going to be champ now.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, like, from what I read, like, they kept things real.
Yeah,
hush-hush.
but I'm guessing, like, I'm 100% certain based on her reaction, which the whole thing you could read as 100% a shoot, like, because she's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could believe that she didn't even know she was getting the title until she did, because she did it so well. But
right,
I think she just knew that Becky had to go away for a while, and that, that she's going to be, because they have to give her direction on, like, hey, stay out there after you celebrate, like, don't go.
Yeah.
I that's how I imagine it went down, was something like, hey, you're going to get the title here, have fun, but don't, but Becky gets the last word, like, whatever.
And she didn't know that it was,
because her reaction and her,
she broke character for a second when she hugged her. She said,
"Oh, like, it was beautiful."
She said, honestly, like, congratulations in Kana, not Asuka voice.
And she was just, she was like, "I'm so happy for you." Like, it was, and it was so genuine. It really, like, it hit you.
She said, like, really,
like you're gonna be a mother. You're gonna be a mother, and it's just like, oh, it was awesome. And then she starts chanting, "Becky, Becky, Becky." It was so cool. And then Becky was crying. It's one of those things where it's like, in my head, I imagine Becky plans to return, but the way but the way that left, it's like, you could tell that she doesn't know.
She knows that, like, it could be, like, you just don't know, like.
Exactly, you just don't know, because, like, obviously she's out for at least a year. And then you would think at that point, it's like she's gonna have gone through so much, and you don't know what her priorities are gonna be. And she was upfront about that. So
yeah, like, and in that People interview, she kind of says that too. She's like, you can tell that she's, like, very much taking seriously the fact that she doesn't know what emotional impact this is gonna have on her, and, like, where her head's gonna be at once like she is a mother. Like, and she's respecting that fact.
And so that brings it to the whole episode of Raw.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
This is something I loved about the Money in the Bank booking. So they've been building Asuka for a while now, and then they give it to her, and then she just gets the title. That works. Like, Shayna was who I wanted to win. They couldn't have just given it to Shayna.
Shayna has to dominantly win a match.
So bad.
No,
she has to murder somebody.
Mm-hmm. But Asuka's already had the title before. Like, she, like, even though everyone hated this,
there's a lot of built-up equity.
Yeah, and it's like, it was
back in 2003 when the first brand, or 2002 when the first brand split happened, they just gave Triple H the World Heavyweight title. Mm-hmm. And everyone hated that, because, and it was a heel thing, but he had the equity to get it. And that's like,
you're not putting that shit on Bubba Ray Dudley.
But yeah, I thought that booking was great. Continue.
No, it was great. But so the whole episode of Raw, Seth is walking around like he just saw somebody get murdered, and he's just like, it's just like, what's going on with this guy? And now the way that Money in the Bank, that match ended, was Drew shook his hand, and then he shook Drew's hand, and you could tell he was a little like, what the fuck? And so I think, he had this prophecy that he was building to, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try to win this match. It's like, I'm destined to win this match. So then he loses, and now he's just in this fucking daze, but also he just learned he was a dad. So, or going to be a dad. Well, he didn't just learn that. We just learned that.
In kayfabe, you almost can say that, like.
Maybe.
That is one thing I'm not. Keep the kid out of it. Oh, please keep the kid away.
Please. And I really highly doubt Seth or Becky would be into, like, let's exploit our new fucking baby. This
They're not the
Okay.
Miz.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not the Miz.
If you asked Seth without giving him a chance to consult Becky,
yeah, sure,
he would do whatever Vince asked of him.
Honestly, probably.
Whatever, yeah, man, whatever.
Whatever, man. Me and the kid could be tag champs, man. I think it'd be funny.
I bought him his first Xbox controller already. Like pulls up like baby size Xbox.
Well, that's what we were joking about. Is like that's the look of somebody who learned that they're gonna not be able to play nearly as much Madden as they like to.
I don't know. AJ seems to be fine.
The two of them are gonna have a bus now.
But AJ seems like a questionable father, and that's a hot take.
Okay,
that's a mild take.
These two together seem like they're going to be questionable parents. Seth on it, regardless, seems like he's going to be a questionable father. So,
yeah, I think Seth seems like he's going to be somebody who'd actually probably be a really good dad.
I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll probably grow up a bunch.
Yeah, I'm assuming. But you know, if he cares about his kid half as much as he cares about his company, he'll be all right. But so yeah, the whole thing, like, he's just looking disheveled, looking like, I don't know what the fuck. Rey Mysterio at one point is like, hey, I know we're going against each other tonight, but congratulations. Like, being a dad really changes everything. And then he just stares at him, walks off, and Rey was just like, Charlie was just like, what a dick.
I love that.
I was like, that's amazing. You could say what a dick. Awesome.
I think he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And then, so did that lead to Rey and Alistair being a tag team?
So they're a tag team because they survived death together. That's literally why they were put together.
That honestly rocks.
That's cool, man.
It's also a sick tag team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like, that'll bond two people.
Rey, if they are a tag team, and Rey doesn't now turn into a blind man as a gimmick, he should like start wearing like all black, like masks and gear and stuff.
That would look cool. That would look cool.
Yeah.
But so like they have that match that ends up. I mean, that's the main event of Raw. But Seth comes out. He doesn't fucking participate. It's just Buddy Murphy.
He has the Festus catatonic look.
He does. It's just Buddy Murphy versus versus Alistair and Rey.
Buddy Murphy and Alistair work so fucking good.
Oh my god, I can't. There's got to be a singles match between the two of them coming real soon.
Buddy Murphy is really fucking good.
I ain't your buddy guy.
I'm just your
guy,
Murphy.
buddy.
But yeah, and then Seth snapped and almost took Rey's mask off and probably poked his eyeball out.
That was fucked.
I mean, it was
blood
fucking.
On the stairs and shit was sick,
dude. I was like, that's effective. Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
it worked. Adam Pearce needs to hurry his ass up and get out there quicker.
Well, and then you got Seth in the back being like, kayfabe genuinely like, I don't know what happened out there. I don't know what happened. And then it just turns into this brawl, and Seth kind of makes his way out of it. But yeah, I'm like, well, that's really, really interesting. But the timing of it does make you think like, why is he acting that way?
I like the idea though that adds like this weird layer. And I think it's hopefully going to be more so about like he lost and it's supposed to be a prophecy that never came true, like his destiny. And so,
yeah. I hope so Seth, if he and Becky are going to be smart, he needs to get written off soon because he can't risk getting exposed and then exposing her. Yeah, like why Roman's not around. Like with his leukemia and his wife is pregnant. Yeah. I hope this leads to Seth doing something so horrendous that he gets suspended for the rest of Becky's maternity leave. Like, it's like you're suspended for a year.
Yeah, right?
Like,
or they quote unquote fire him.
Mm.
You're fired.
Like, I hope it just ramps up to that point, and then we don't see him for a year.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then it leaves Buddy Murphy just being like, what the fuck?
But what is that going to be? Because Baron Corbin threw 2 people off of a roof, and he's fine.
But just to a subroof.
Now he gets to go to 2 shows.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot because Seth needs to not be there. So a Seth Vince program would be interesting.
Anything like that would be really cool to have, to have Seth become so unhinged that he just has to go, like, that's awesome. And that just means as time keeps fucking ticking, the anticipation for Seth's return is going to grow.
Or what makes more sense is bring Triple H back in, and Seth does something to, like, Stephanie to get himself fired.
Time to play the game.
Randy Orton punted Stephanie in the head and then kissed her, like, passed out body, and he didn't get fired.
Takes a lot, man. It takes a lot.
But it doesn't, because
they just had a fucking wrestling match over it. Not even a street fight.
You only get fired if you disrespect Shane McMahon.
Or if you just
your surroundings.
Or if you do anything around Vince before he's eaten, or slightly after he's eaten, before he's eaten again.
Yeah,
anything like that.
That's what Seth should do. Bring him a chicken burrito.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He doesn't know what that is.
And then sneeze on it.
He doesn't have to sneeze on it. He just has to sneeze in the same room.
Or he just walks in as Vince is eating a steak wrap. And he's like, that's actually a burrito. And he gets fired.
See, Corbin didn't get fired because they survived.
Okay.
So he has to kayfabe kill somebody.
Yeah, who killed Vince?
We never found out.
Oh, okay. I was like, did they get fired?
Yeah, well, the Benoit thing happened 2 weeks later, so they just pretended that never happened.
All Seth needs to do is choke out Byron Saxton with his necktie.
Oh, yeah.
Fired, dude.
Or go over onto AEW and do it to Justin Roberts.
But real fired
sick, though.
Real fired and kayfabe fired are two different things.
Well, he just needs to get kayfabe fired.
Unless
that's true.
Fuck, who was God, why can't I think of his name right now? Died early. Hollywood Blondes.
Brian Pillman.
Yeah, he legit got himself fired from WCW for the gimmick and then signed with WWF.
That's true. That was always really good. He fucked Eric Bischoff on that really hard. The best.
Oh man, yeah.
Is that all for Raw?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
There's tension in the Austin Theory Andrade stable now.
I don't think there's that much tension. Austin Theory's just a dork.
They're just laughing at him.
All the other guys are just laughing at him.
There's so many dorks in wrestling right now. I love it.
Yeah, it's dork heavy.
There really is a lot of dorks.
Well, think about who
the biggest
wrestlers
one?
are.
Is it Gargano?
Sure. I'm not a dork.
I don't fucking know. Zack Ryder
is fired.
It's a different, but it's a different type of dork. It's action figure dork, but that's a big dork.
Yeah. Also, every time I see Robert Stone, I still think it's Zack Ryder.
I can see that.
I can't, but probably just because he's with Chelsea Green.
Tony Khan, Zack Ryder.
You know who's not a dork? And I just watched the whole interview you did with that dude Chris Van Vliet is Heath Slater, man. That guy seems really, really cool.
He seems like a little he doesn't know what he's actually about to get into.
Yeah. Did you watch that interview or listen to it?
I did.
It does seem like
I'd like to wrestle Tanahashi, man. It's like
there was that.
Everybody would too.
Yeah, but he does have he is right where he's been around for 14 years. Like he's about as old as Tanahashi, right? I mean, Tana is way older. Never mind, but still, because he's like 36. I don't know how old.
One guy is one of the best wrestlers of the last
No, I know.
And one of them is Heath Slater.
He's a solid worker. It would.
You can see Heath in a G1. Right, maybe going up.
No,
I could see
his
it.
Style will not work.
His
finisher was a neck breaker.
He's a little.
That seems like something that would work in Japan.
He's a little baby bird, and he's about ready to fly from the nest. I'm rooting for him. I'm excited. I want to see where he goes.
I just don't think.
It does feel like a bit naive. Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's about to get into.
Yeah.
He's I think he'll be lucky if he shows up on NWA Power.
That'd be sick for him.
That one would make the most sense too.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope that he surprises us though.
Me too.
I hope it's just holy shit, really?
Yeah, that's where I think it's gonna happen. We'll see. He's doing CrossFit, dude. He's doing CrossFit, so it'll be cool. He's good.
Speaking of
CrossFit?
Nope. That wasn't a segue. Let's answer some questions from our friend Emma. Dr.
Question.
Blurred. What's the best wrestling book? I have only read
The Bret Hart book.
less than half of the NXT book. I'm gonna say it's not the best.
I guess it really depends on what you're looking for.
If you want to read Bret Hart putting himself over for a whole book, that's a great choice. Also, just all the stories is really fun.
Does he read the audiobook version of it?
I don't know. That'd be really funny.
That'd be sick.
I would download it if he did. I thought that that JR's book, Slobber Knocker, wasn't bad. It's just interesting. Look at the old days. I'm liking the Death of the Territories. It's a fucking dense one.
Have you done Death of WCW?
I haven't.
Listen to that one. Brian Alvarez narrates it.
Okay.
Facts.
And then
that sounds horrendous to my ears.
By all accounts,
I love Brian Alvarez.
I don't dislike him. His voice just makes me upset.
And that's when DDP came in and he tagged with Karl Malone against Geeks.
I really, really love the Squared Circle, Life, Death, and Professional Wrestling by David Shoemaker. It's very, very, very good.
And of course, like books like Have a Nice Day, like Mick Foley, that one's highly, highly regarded. I don't know. There's plenty of wrestling books out there.
Yeah, I've never read.
Jericho's are pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
The Sisterhood of I think it's the Sisterhood of the Squared Circle. By Dan LaPrade and someone else is extremely good. History of women's professional wrestling.
Sick.
Austin, or fucking Terry's book. No, what the fuck is that? I can't remember. Never mind. Not a good book anyway.
There's probably a cool wrestling comic book about wrestling. That's what I'll recommend.
Aubrey Sitterson wrote one about the history of professional wrestling. That's really cool.
Yeah, that
he
one.
blocked me once on Twitter, but I'm not blocked by him anymore.
He came to his senses.
I don't remember what he was talking shit to a friend, so I just said like a super snarky comment just to be an asshole to him.
I don't know.
What's worse, getting nut in by Seth or Triple H?
Seth.
You said getting
nutted in.
Yeah, like semen.
I thought you meant
like you're gonna get pregnant.
For some reason,
it's gonna be Seth or Triple H.
Oh, I see. No, I'd rather take that fucking Triple H Daddy G's.
I'd rather take that pedigree.
Yeah, same here. His pedigree though, not Seth's shitty one.
Yeah,
the pedigree is shitty regardless of who does it, and Seth's was the worst.
Because you can't do it real anymore because you'll kill somebody.
He could show me the meaning of cerebral assassin.
And what scary movie traumatized you the most as a kid?
Arachnophobia.
I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, but the thing that always gave me nightmares was a music video for a song by the Christian musical artist Carmen called No Monsters.
Dude, music videos can be fucking scary.
Yo,
that one is especially fucked.
It was just a horror music video. There's also one where he talks to like a real witch, and that one's scary too.
Carmen is just scary because Carmen is like the scariest type of
Carmen is
zealot.
Propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
it's weird shit. So I watched like the Halloween, like all of the old Halloween movies, like way too young on AMC.
Dear God.
And like I really liked them. Actually, I still really love that series. But I lived out in Cuna at the time, and we like actually had horses and like acreage and stuff, and I had to go feed the horses like at night.
Fuck
that. There'd just be like some spooky lighting, and yeah, I got over it pretty eventually, but it was like clenched butthole running out to the barn for a little bit.
My older brother was having a sleepover, and he was probably like, he had friends over, I guess. I don't even know if they were staying the night, but they were watching Arachnophobia, and I was able to stay up late and watch it with them. My mom was like, all right. And my brother was like, fine, you could watch it with us. It was a very like big moment for me. It's like, I'm hanging out with my like, cause all you want to do when you're a little kid. you don't realize that your fucking siblings suck yet. No, I love them. I love them both to death. But
thanks
that
for
movie,
letting me stay up late, Trish.
yeah. Thanks, Ma. But that movie scared the shit out of me. And anytime now, if I'm reaching to like at a lamp that has a little pull down light thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm worried that a spider's gonna come land on my hand. Putting my feet into slippers, I'm like, dude, there's a fucking bad boy in there ready to bite my toe and murder my ass.
That's Jeff Daniels in that movie, right?
Jeff Daniels and Jonathan Goodman as the exterminator.
Ooh. This whole time, I was thinking of Eight-Legged Freaks, and I was like, I didn't know that movie was scary.
WCW champion David Arquette?
Yeah.
No, that's just I believe, Oscar-winning, the Oscar-winning David Arquette vehicle.
I just remembered another one that terrified me the most, and it's the movie Sphere. Have any of you seen Sphere?
I have, but I saw it as an adult, and it didn't scare me. I thought it was badass, but as a child, it would have fucked my brain.
The fucking they're underwater and they're investigating this spherical alien craft.
Yeah,
that's, crashed on the seafloor, and all their fears start happening to them. And
yeah,
there's,
man.
Octopus legs that start coming down and attacking people.
Dude, oh my god, that shit'll freak me. Yeah, Deep Blue Sea fucked me up from water. I don't like deep water. I don't get with deep water.
That's how I want to go.
Nah, dude. If I can't see what's below me, I'd really rather not be in it.
Oh, that sounds like that's peace to me.
Interesting how that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. Would you rather be lost, let's say you're in a submarine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or conversely, a small spaceship. Would you rather be lost forever to die alone in the deepest of the sea, or would you rather float out eternally into space until you die?
100% the ocean.
That's crazy to me. Space, 100%.
So I do also I have a family need to take vengeance upon submarines because my great uncle was kicked out of the Navy during World War II for being caught being gay on one.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god.
Destroy that sub.
I can only imagine, and I know, and I am not trying to make light of how difficult it is to be gay in the military, or especially back then at all. But if you're in a submarine and you got a fucking little thing going on, that just seems like you guys could really be having a good time. You could really be partying down there in a submarine, but everyone would have to be on board. It couldn't be two people having something that they have to hide.
It has to be a party sub.
If it's a party sub, and no one really knows because it's the old days. And they just radio you twice. They just radio you twice a day, and you're like, everything's going good.
And that's the sequel to Waterworld I want is Party Sub.
Dude, Party Sub?
It's just a National Lampoon movie, but just in a submarine.
Or it's just one of those fucking 6-footer. It's just one of those 6-foot sandwiches that you cut up and share amongst your friends at birthday parties.
It's just a pansexual, polyamorous bacchanal under the sea.
I would watch any of these movies, but
mostly the big sandwich.
Yeah.
Sandwich.
Yeah, there'd be big sandwiches everywhere too.
We love big sandwiches,
dude. Hell yeah! Lots of meats, lots of buns.
The submarine would be painted like a party sub.
I would love that. Yeah. Honestly, that's awesome.
Matt, that was a great tagline.
That was so good.
But I would rather die in space.
Yeah.
But I respect that you said the sea. My fear is some sort. I get swallowed up by some sort of monster, which I guess is kind of cool.
That's how I want to go.
The Metallica documentary.
Some kind of monster. I haven't seen it. Those guys, I don't like those guys.
That documentary is incredible, Matthew.
Is it? I'll watch it. If you guys recommend it.
Watching a bunch of metalheads go through therapy is insane.
Ooh, okay. I did not know that's what it's about. That sounds actually
watching a bunch of
macho dudes.
Yeah, be macho. I love every second of it.
Also, James Hetfield wears the funniest overalls.
And seeing what these people, these these people who just wanted to play guitar riffs, what they do with their money when they get older, it's fun. It's
all
fun.
Right. I am actually getting very intrigued as
watch it.
Okay.
Isai, what scary movie scared you as a child?
I didn't watch scary movies. I only
Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2.
I loved those movies as a kid.
What wrestler scared you?
Mix up the mashed potatoes.
Take my strong hand. What movie or what wrestler scared you the most when you were a kid?
I had a nightmare when I was like a small kid about the Undertaker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Boogeyman. I feel
spooky.
like if you were like a little bit younger when Boogeyman was around, that would be fucking scary.
Not in my 20s.
Yeah. That's awesome. Is that signed?
Yeah. I just found all my Wrestle Crate signed 8x10s, and they're really hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was the Undertaker though.
Yeah,
like, especially like in those like old promos where he's like building coffins and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I forget.
Yeah.
And by the time I started watching wrestling, I was just afraid he'd run me over with his motorcycle.
Or make you drink chew.
Ew.
Drink chew.
Tommy Dreamer did.
Have his wife pin me and bury me in my first feud in the company.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well,
Oh man.
That wasn't even his wrestler wife.
that seems like a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Any last words, final thoughts from you guys?
I do want to say that as I've been shown and I've seen some funny content online about the Becky being pregnant thing, and that's really fun.
Did we talk about Becky, like what she
nice.
said to Ronda?
No.
Or like what she said? Or no, was that someone else?
No,
who
that was
tweeted
Candy
that?
Lee, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Candy Lee.
Candy Lee said, like, Becky's just beating Ronda at everything.
Yeah. And I saw one that was like, in one night, Seth and Becky cost WWE more money than AEW has combined.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is very funny stuff.
Yeah.
So that I think that's fun.
Yeah.
We could all get a good laugh in these harsh times.
Yeah, I'd say like Candy Lee's joke. Would it be funny if it was anyone but Ronda? But Ronda sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, fuck, I don't give a shit.
And it's fucking it's really funny.
It's funny.
Also, like it was a very fun and just self-effacing response from Candy Lee because Candy Lee is a trans woman wrestler. Who I've actually talked to over Twitter a little bit, like, and she's super rad.
Hell yeah.
But like made a joke saying like, "Hey, I wish I could get pregnant too, but I can't either." So,
Yeah.
like kind of saying like, "This is my joke to get to say."
Yeah. No. For sure.
Like it was fun.
The only other thing I can think of is what we said at the end last week. You don't need us telling you, but don't act stupid just because people are deciding that we can start going out again. Be safe, be courteous.
Saying that to some of my friends who I've been seeing post some pictures together. I know y'all don't live together.
Same, and it's that thing. It's like I get it, but we just got to pay attention. We got to really be on this because it's not a fucking joke.
Yeah, and like wear your shit in public, like wear your mats, fucking clean your hands, be smart.
Yeah, Kuna, Idaho.
Dude, everywhere. I'm seeing it all over the place too. It's just like, come on, and it's tough, but we're in this together.
Yeah.
Arbitrary dates don't fucking matter.
No.
Yeah.
Vaccines matter. Herd immunity matters. Those are the things you need to watch out for before you start fucking letting your guard down.
Wear your masks.
Yeah.
Wear them. Mine's not in here. Whatever.
I got a cool bandana. I look like a robber.
Dude, hell yeah.
I got a Green Bay Packers mask.
My mom made me a corgi one.
Toy.
I love that.
It's very good.
Oh, that reminds me. I started watching Katie and I have been watching Cowboy Bebop, and I've never watched it before, and I love it. There's a corgi in it.
There's a corgi in it.
I won't mention my thoughts on that show.
I haven't seen it. I'm only a couple episodes in, and I'm liking it.
You can't get Griffin McElroy mad at us. It's his favorite show.
Well, that's where we cut it, bud.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Rusev Day is dead forever. And Wrestleboys 316 says, you can call me Al.
Allie.
Yeah.